and president of the Washington Strategy Group, Joel Rubin. All right, so I was talking about this yesterday with some pretty smart folks. They expressed some skepticism that this ceasefire is going to hold because the group tasked with holding it is the Lebanese military, which is, not very strong.
Yeah, Katie, look, it's always great to be with you. And I call this a good day to have a ceasefire negotiated where diplomacy has weighed in a manner that helps the Lebanese people and the Israeli people. And to this point, though, it's a core point. This is truly the keystone of the whole agreement is the Lebanese military. Can their armed forces fully take control of South Lebanon in a manner that guarantees security both for the Lebanese people and northern Israel and moves Hezbollah out above the Litani line, which is that demarcation line that the UN blessed almost 2 decades ago for Hezbollah to retreat to. That is the cornerstone. That's it. That has to be done. And I do think that we're going to now see international efforts focus strongly on providing them with the capacity and that mechanisms included in the ceasefire deal will be there to assure that if there are violations, they can be handled and managed. But without a doubt, that's how this agreement truly does come into real enforcement.
What part is Iran playing in this right now?
Iran, it's a very complicated moment for Iran right now. Katie, they had Hezbollah, and we talked about this in the past. I remember this very clearly. We talked about why is Hezbollah there? What role do they have? And at its core, it was to provide a hedge for Iran to prevent any type of Israeli assault on Iran and to threaten northern Israel. But now Israel has decimated Hezbollah. 70 to 80% of its arsenal is destroyed. It doesn't have the ability to rebuild inside of Lebanon. Its leadership has been decapitated. And so we saw Iran, who essentially blessed Hezbollah getting involved in this war after Hamas's attack on October 7th, change tunes and now support the ceasefire, leaving Hamas alone and isolated. So Iran is on its heels, and I think we should look at this agreement as one of strength, one that was done with a strong pushback against Iran, and now they recognize the reality that Hezbollah really can't manage any longer to stay in this fight.
Let me play a little bit of the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, on what this is going to mean for Hamas and the negotiations for a ceasefire in Gaza. Here he is on Morning Joe this morning.
There have been ongoing indirect contacts through the mediators with Hamas in recent weeks. We believe that now that we have a ceasefire in Lebanon, the pressure will only grow on Hamas to reach a deal. I can't predict if and when it will happen, but I can tell you that we are going to put every ounce of effort we have into making it happen and to getting those hostages home.
Why would Hamas feel more pressure now? I mean, the Gaza is devastated. Their leadership has been decimated. Why would they be more willing now?
They have to look at the reality around them, which is not only have they been, to your point, devastated and decimated in this war, and the pain of the Palestinian people is acute. They're now isolated even amongst their own allies. Iran now has signaled by supporting this ceasefire, it does not any longer have an appetite for linking the Lebanon conflict to the Gaza conflict. This is an opportunity now for Hamas to look in the mirror and really decide, do they care about the Palestinian people? If they do, they'll cut a deal. They'll return the hostages. If they don't, within a couple of months, they're going to be looking at a very different chessboard, a different president of the United States. They're not going to see opportunities to take advantage right now of the diplomatic window that is before them, and they should. And they should move to try to get something on the ground that enhances and helps the Palestinian people's lives. And that's what we're going to see in southern Lebanon. I just want to add this. There's a reconstruction that needs to take place as well in southern Lebanon. That will, if it's done properly, ensure that Iran cannot reassert itself, nor Hezbollah, into running south of Lebanon. So the Lebanese people have a government that controls their own country, just like the people in northern Israel can now go back and try to rebuild their lives as well. But this is the window for Hamas, and they have to show they care about the Palestinian people.
Yeah, we'll see if this is an inflection point, whether this is the moment things started to change. Joel Rubin, thank you so much for joining us. And coming up next, our next guest has spent